We have a system in the United States where we were built on a rocky foundation.
Can we start here at the university? This is where we at.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
I'll let you get there.
Right over there, if you look over there, we have the Memphis State 8, who integrated this university. Until then, my grandmother could not go here.
Bro, you can never win this conversation. You can never get through.
Touched on it earlier, the us versus them mentality that's prevalent in I would say a little bit in Hispanic communities. What do you think is a good way to kind of stop that tension? Because me personally, I've got friends of different varying races and we get along just fine, but in the community in particular, there's a lot
I think
of
as individuals, we have to stop doing it as individuals. We got to start being friends with other people and branching out. We can't just be a clique. And listen, I hope that everybody received this properly. We, black people, and the black people that's watching this, and everybody else that care about the black issues, we will lose if we try to just black. Why? We don't have no wealth generated. We don't have wealth generated because we don't pursue that. We don't pursue that kind of stuff. We won't get rich quick. Why do all these NFL players go bankrupt?
They don't have the proper
because we're not investing. We trying to ball. I ain't gonna lie. When I started making some money, what's the first? I bought a nice car. It was as stupid, but it's like ingrained in the culture to say I want to ball. I want to be flashy. I'm gonna get me a chain. You got $100,000 chain and you don't have no equity. You're not passing anything down to your kids. I know dudes that got so much money right now and they balling, but you say, do you have a trust set up? Do you have investment set up? Do you own property? Are you investing in businesses? Are you in these meetings? You're not doing anything. You're just blowing your money. And let me tell you another thing. Reparations is another thing. Raise your hand if you think black people should get reparations. Okay, raise your hand. Hi, I need hi. Raise your hand if you think it's good for black people to get reparations.
I don't even know how it would be possible for black people to get reparations. And I mean that purely financial reparations. I don't even see how it can be financially possible without completely crashing the economy that we're in. But he's making a good point. In our community, you can't lie. We like to flex. You get some money, you blow it. Well, when he talks about making money and building up the black community, that first starts with your knowledge. It starts with your brain. It starts with your choices. That's the first fundamental step. But if we're making incorrect choices, we'll never get to that achieving point that we want to. But the young man is raising his hand for reparations. I really do want to hear what he has to say, so let's get back into this.
Now, let me tell you why that's a myth. When you get reparations, where do you think that money's going to go?
Into my community.
What community? You don't go to HBCU. Do you live in the hood?
Yes.
When you get money, are you gonna move out the hood? You gonna live in the hood?
I'm be in my hood.
You gonna live? You better move out. You better look at what happened to Nipsey Hussle. He was in his hood. Young Dolph, right here.
But we talk about
No. Young Dolph.
No.
What happened to him in his hood?
I'm from Cal State.
Right.
What we're not gonna do is invoke Dolph in this.
Is it true? Is it not? Is it true? Is it not? Okay, just listen to me. When you say investment, what are you going to do as an investment point? What's your first investment?
Put of the black businesses that I know within my community. Okay. I'm going to put money towards them. Okay. I'm going to make sure that we get the guns off the street. I'm going to make sure that we have everything.
How are you going to do that?
How am I going to do that?
Yeah.
Man, that is a long plan. But the basic points are this:
systemic gun control. Who's like gun control?
So,
stricter laws.
Systemic gun control. I don't want to say too much, but I'm just going to talk about that. A lot of people with guns in the streets who are committing crimes do not have their guns legally. Do you know how stupid it is to commit a crime with a legal weapon? So when you say systemic gun control, you're going to make laws restricting gun access? What is that going to do to a criminal? They're criminals. What? It's illegal to rob banks, but criminals still rob banks. What are you going to do? They already have the weapons illegally, and they're committing illegal acts with their illegal weapons.
So here's
conservative views. I'm sorry, Zach.
No, let him go. No, you go. Go ahead.
So here's my thing. We are invoking Black Wall Street and all these other black business owners and everything else, right? And then you're like, well, the reason it messed up was because we decided to integrate. No,
it's not just integrate.
No. They blew up Black
Let's see how
Wall
much
Street.
you know. And then what happened? No. When did they build it back?
They did never build it back.
Put some money on it.
We could not build
You
it
want to
back.
put some money on it?
To the grandeur
Somebody,
that it was.
go ahead, fact check him right now.
To the grandeur that it was.
No. It was built back, and it was just as successful as it had ever been.
was not.
A few years later. Put some money on it.
We are arguing between fact and fiction here. The fact
Put some money on it.
I can gladly put money on it.
All right, let's
But
do
the
this.
fact
Let's do this.
is,
Fact
they
check
blew
it.
it up.
Fact check it. Look at Uncle Tom the movie, Uncle Tom 2. Look at the movie. It is verifiable proof with evidence, video evidence, text evidence.
So the
people who
descendants-
live there.
So the descendants of the victims and everybody else, their points and their businesses that are no longer there do not matter.
No, they're victims. They're paying this victimhood just like it's a peer that
It's
you're
not
playing right now.
victimhood when your family was blown up.
Okay, let's put it like this. Okay, listen to this. If you claim, which is not true, you claim that they blew it up and they never
That they
repaired.
firebombed it and
it never
built
repaired.
it back up.
You said it never. It was just a lie. But just say that happened.
But it was never
Let's say that.
initially.
Let's say that happened. Let's say that happened. How in the world can we build something so great in 1925 and we can't do it today?
One, segregation in general.
Not every state was segregated, mind you.
The economy's getting worse.
Segregation in general within the South. Are you from the South?
South. I'm from the South.
Where you from?
Texas.
Texas. Okay. Segregation in the South, and you know there's no way in hell that we can establish our businesses within this time period without at least a threat of our businesses being taken out the way.
False. You're wrong. You're completely, utterly wrong. And here, this begs another point. Let's say this young man is completely right. He's completely accurate. The businesses were destroyed. They were taken down. Prospering black, affluent businesses were ripped to shreds. Now what? And the reason I say now what is because you're talking about building up the black neighborhoods, making black people and black families more affluent, more wealthy. Where is your argument going? Are you giving a history lesson? If you want to make a community better, what are you expecting to achieve from this conversation? You can be 100% right. Let's say you are 100% right. Who's going to rebuild those businesses? Do you expect white people to do it? Asian people to do it? Indian people to do it? Black people to do it? The government to do it? Who's going to do it? If you expect the government to do it, what if they say no? Are you just going to keep complaining about when they're going to do it? And the only thing I'm getting at is this victimhood mentality, it won't achieve anything. It's almost 2025 now. Being this type of perpetual victim, people are just going to look at you like you're pathetic. They're not going to take you serious. And also, when you look at black neighborhoods, black communities, it would be different if black communities were trying their best academically or not even academically or just with trades, but we're the least shown in these academic high earning fields. We're the least shown in the trades. We're even the least shown when it comes to voting percentages. So when you make this point that we were taken advantage of or that we were shut down or we were taken down by the white man, how is that relevant today? If you're right, how is that relevant today in black neighborhoods where there are guns on the street, where there is high crime rates, where there is low two-family household rates, where there is low income rates? How is that relevant to fixing what we have today? Unless you just expect someone else to fix it.
There's no way that you can do that.
That's just
And even then,
that's simply not true.
Then, you say it's simply not true, but then the countless business owners, especially in
What
Memphis,
about the ones that are still flourishing today?
the lucky?
And I don't know,
The lucky few.
Lucky few.
The lucky few. Considering the fact that the majority of our businesses were either run into the ground, taken over, or just run over again by the same white populations that wanted our stuff anyway. The issue is
Do you
not,
think the white man is against you in America? Systemically.
No. Systemically?
Do you think a system is against you?
Systemically, yes, because we're built on a rocky foundation.
Where? On campus?
In every single
Okay, institutions. At this university?
Yes.
At this university?
At this-
The white man, like the system is against you?
Okay. So, we have a system in the United States where we were built on a rocky foundation.
Can we start here at the university? 'Cause this is where we at.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
I'll let you get there.
Right over there, if you look over there, we have the Memphis State 8, who integrated this university. Until then, my grandmother could not go here.
Bro, You can never win this conversation. You can never get through with people with this mentality. And I'm trying to be like fair here and understand where he's coming from. He says the United States was built on a rocky foundation, but even the premise of that statement upsets me. Because when you say you are facing current systemic racism and your reasoning behind that is the foundation of the United States, and when you're justifying your anti-foundational claims, you say, oh, my grandmother couldn't go here. I'm just a little lost on how that leads to your current systemic racism, if you're there. Do you get what I'm saying? If you're actively there right now and there are black people behind you, there are every race behind you, you're actively here. You're saying that today there is current systemic racism. Then you use your grandmother as an example of saying she couldn't go to a specific college. And I'm assuming it's because of her race. But you, the same race, are at that college right now. How is it still a current systemic racism if the underlying factor has changed? Do you understand where I'm getting at? I'm just a little lost. I need him to evaluate it or explain it a little better.
But
My grandmother
we
went
also
here.
had our own universities.
We, yes, had our own universities, but not everybody can go to said universities. We are descendants of, keep this in mind, the people that wanted to come to this university and the people that wanted to go to Russ, to TSU, to Howard were the descendants of sharecroppers, business owners that tried every single way for us to make waves in our communities. And the issue is that when you say, oh, well, we don't need to worry about the race issue here, you're completely forgetting the fact that we were not integrated. We were not integrated here. In the city of Memphis, we were not integrated much into the 70s. And the reason for all this is it's systemically put in place. I understand not wanting race to stop you. Completely do understand that. But we live in a society where our race is going to inflict harm and pain on every single thing that we do, even when we jump over hoops.
Listen, I do understand history, right? I took Africana studies in college. So I do understand the history of black people in America, all the way from Africa, all the way here. So what I'm saying is that there are things that people are using as crutches, right? Booker T. Washington, Tuskegee University, all the successful black men that were born and lived, Madam C.J. Walker. Do you know who Madam C.J. Walker is? Raise your hand if you know Madam C.J. Walker. Sarah Bree Love. She was Oprah Winfrey in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Mm-hmm. Think about this. How did this woman have white folks working for her and essentially was a billionaire? It's because not only did black people in pockets have levels of success, we begin to go downhill after we started doing all this civil rights stuff.
No, we don't.
We did. We had our own schools.
The reason we had our own schools was because we couldn't go anywhere else.
Why don't you go to HBCU right now instead of going to University of Memphis?
I got a full ride here.
Well, why don't you go to HBCU?
Because I decided to go here. I had the choice to go to an HBCU.
So here's the thing. So I'm assuming if you got a scholarship here, you would have a scholarship to HBCU, right? Yes, I had scholarships elsewhere. You choose to go to where the systemic oppression is instead of going to an HBCU.
The systemic oppression is at the HBCU too.
Huh? What are you talking about? What are you talking? He made a good point. If there's systemic oppression there, why would you actively choose to go to that said school? Then he says, why didn't you go to an HBCU? Which, if y'all don't know what an HBCU is basically a predominantly black school. You have black people, you have black professors, you have black president. It's a predominantly black institution. Historically black college or institution, if I'm being literal. He didn't want to go there, and then he's about to justify it by saying HBCUs have white oppression too. I want to know how that is.
Oppression is instead of going to an HBCU.
The systemic oppression is at the HBCU too. What you're not getting is.
So now black people run it and it's still racist.
No, you're not going to talk over me. I'll let you talk. Let me talk. When we have an HBCU that does not get funding because of the fact
that's a lie. That's a lie.
Because of the fact that
look it up. Put some money on it. He secured permanent funding. He secured.
How much did Barack give?
Barack ended permanent funding for HBCUs. Donald Trump reinstituted permanent funding for HBCUs. Did you not see? Sir,
listen.
Everybody out here can fact check this.
Everybody
Everybody out here can fact check this.
Sir.
Once you look at the picture of the HBCU presidents, every single HBCU president went to the White House and was with Donald Trump, and he negotiated a deal where he.
And what are they even talking about saying HBCUs are broke? That's not true. They don't have as much money as predominantly or PWIs or other schools. But I went to an HBCU. We got free iPads. They used to give us like $3,000 checks every semester, like earlier on in my college experience. We got free iPads and Apple Pencils. It was actually a pretty great experience. It's a pretty normal college. So when they're trying to justify like HBCUs being like dirt, piss poor, it's just not accurate at all. My school just built like a new laboratory system. We have like a state-of-the-art semiconductor processing building. So what they're saying is just not true. It's not true. Maybe my school's an anomaly, but this is just not accurate. HBCUs are not broke. I don't know where they're getting at. And Donald Trump, I think he gave a lot of money to HBCUs. I don't know, though, so I'm not going to speak on that.
He gave them permanent funding, which is something Obama never did.
Mira.
Look it up. Okay,
So here's the thing. Again, you're invoking black businesses, black business owners, and all these other things.
And I'm invoking a black man that's at the university I'm at right now.
But
that decided to come here instead of an HBCU.
Yes, because they gave me the majority of money to go here. My thing is this.
Which one is it? Are they helping you or are they hurting you?
You're going to let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you keep on talking over me, I can't finish my point.
It's frustrating a little bit, but go ahead.
I understand it's frustrating. Hearing things like that is frustrating.
It's just, you're just lying to me right now.
You're just talking over me.
Go ahead, finish.
When you have a place where one, systemically, especially in Memphis, and you know everything that's happened here, and you could be upset about systemically and all that other stuff.
I'm not upset about it. It's just not true.
It happens.
What systemic thing is happening to you on this campus?
Systemic things happening to me on this campus.
Yeah.
I was pulled over right over there.
On campus. Is campus police?
Yes.
Okay, you were put over there for what?
They said that there was something wrong with my license plate. There's nothing wrong with it.
They just pulled you over for nothing?
Now, I can't blame him. I get that. But there are other accounts of people, not just campus police, but police in general, that have been identified as a person of interest and has not been. We're getting off topic. Back to what we were saying earlier.
Yes, sir.
That's what we were saying earlier. The issue with everything happening with us now is the fact that these systemic policies are here. They're in our laws.
Campus?
They're in our laws.
Name a law that's systemically racist against black people. What law?
A law that's systemically...
You know it's none. God. You know it's none. I know that's why it's hard for you to say it, because it is none.
A law that is systemically against black people?
Name one.
You want an old or a recent?
I mean, whatever you want to say. Federal, you can go federal, you can go local, you can go
stop and frisk.
State.
Stop and frisk.
Which was a law that was state level in New York. And you say that was racist.
So literally the police could go over to anybody, black, white, no matter what, because these policies affect white people too, especially poor white people. The issue is that when you have stop and frisk, they could just be like, hey, you...
So it's not racist, it's more classist.
No.
You said it affects white people the same.
Let me finish.
Okay.
The racial element is always there.
Bro, you're really confusing me, man. You said the racial element is always there, but it affects poor white people too. Maybe I don't understand the definition of racism. Let's look it up. Racism defined. Because prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group. So if it affects people of different ethnic groups the same, like white and black, similarly, how is it racist?
There's black cops there too.
But the black cops are also arresting people. They're part of the problem. The issue is that when you have...
Right, can we
let me finish.
Can we get to somewhere with this? Because I think we're going to continue. You cannot tell me how there's a systemic racist thing that's on this campus that prevents you from being successful. You can't name one.
Yeah, man. This student was... I don't even understand what he was getting at, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, and I usually get it, but I just think he wanted to be right. He wanted to be a victim here. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, comment down below. It's LFR Jojo, and I'll see you on the next one.